Hi guys, how are you going? Just double check to let me know that you can hear me and see me and all that good stuff. I didn't quite break my coffee machine, Kim. I actually was just sitting here knitting, killing a few minutes, and then looked at the clock and realized, whoops, I might need to start the stream. I'm just going to move some things around just so that I can see how the stream is going, because I was actually just reading emails as well, because I'm super professional like that. I've got some prizes for today. I've got lots of things going on. I've actually been up for like 5 hours, on about 5 hours sleep. Why is it that when you've got something you have to get up early for, one thing out of this entire week with Tim and Abby away, and I have one single day that I had to get up early and I could not get to sleep last night. I was just sort of laying there like a loopy-loo, just like, hey, go to sleep, you've got to get up at dumb o'clock in the morning. So yeah, it's just one of those things. So this is where are the photos from yesterday? The photos from Tuesday, I actually still haven't finished editing them, if I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't get heaps of them done. I sort of, after I ended the stream on Tuesday, I went and got my heat pack and a fresh cup of coffee. I actually fell asleep on the couch. So yeah, so that didn't happen. So then yesterday I had lots of orders and stuff to do, but I edited for a couple of hours, but that didn't do all of them. So I'm still going. They're still coming. If you've got something in particular that you wanted, Kim, just let me know and I won't bother editing it and put it up online. We'll just do it next time I see you, sort of thing. My craft today is I'm working on the river mitts that I started for while I was down in Melbourne, because I realised I had no gloves. I mean, I just have to wait till next year. So because it's coming on to, it's like already so warm up here in Brisbane. Oh, my heat pack just fell off my knee. Hang on. I've just got to get it back. Pain meds will knock you out. Yeah. It's a bit like that. Oops. There we go. This is my trusty wheat pack. Do you know how hard it is to buy a wheat pack that has no lavender in it? Like, it shouldn't be that hard. I actually had to make my own a while ago. But yeah. Do you have any 4-ply silk? I don't recall seeing any. Look, I do, but I didn't get to that bag when I was doing the photography. The 4-ply silk's called Milky Way, so keep an eye out for that one. Hi, Elaine. Who have we got in the chat today? Got lots of people hanging out with us. So that's pretty cool. So, yeah, so far, so for everybody who may or may not have been in the stream on Tuesday, because it was impromptu, no one knew about it. Actually, I didn't even know about it until the last minute. What's happened is Tim and Abby are away on a fantastic little skiing holiday that Tim was able to sort out at the last minute. Sounds posh, not. They're staying at Jindabyne in a camp and rec, sports and rec camp thing. Anyway, it's not posh, but they still get to ski for 3 days, so they're pretty happy. Nat's trying to be sneaky and watch from her desk at work. Talk to Joss about that. She's queen of doing it at work. Good morning, everybody. So Tuesday I ended up having to do, I had to do something a bit different because I did not have the socks ready. Now I'm ready to film it, but while I was in Melbourne, I hurt my leg and I hurt it quite badly. So it's been a long-term thing. I busted it many years ago. It had a partial reconstruction or repair done on it like 20 years ago. And it has been getting a bit, you know, it's not the greatest, but it was doing all right. But then VidCon broke it. Sort of just, it was not good, not a good situation. Anyway, I went to the doctors, and today I had to have my very first MRI. So this morning I've been out to Cleveland and back already by 10 a.m. And yay, so that was fun. I've actually never had an MRI before. The whole thing, like, because you see all the stuff on telly about, you know, things getting sucked into it and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, I'm terrified. Also, it's like a really narrow tube and I'm not really narrow. And so I'm like, oh, am I even going to fit? Anyway, because it was my knee, I didn't have to go all the way in, which was really good. And yeah, so it was actually not, I mean, it was boring because you got to stay perfectly still for like 11,000 minutes. But it was not painful. Like the last time someone tried to look at my knee for a scan, it was an x-ray. I don't recommend x-rays on knees that aren't happy. So yeah, MRI it is. So this afternoon I'm off to my doctor to find out what the MRI says. So fingers crossed, guys. So I have my heat pack under my desk on my knee because I had to do a little bit of walking this morning. Nothing dramatic, but enough that it's made my knee angry. So yeah, so that's where I'm up to with the knee. So Tuesday I did a live stream of my photography process. It was a slightly different process than usual because I had to make it so I could sit down while I was doing it. I don't normally sit while I do it. And I had a lot of fun with that actually. So did you guys who joined in on Tuesday, did you enjoy that photography sort of talk? I'm just having a little read through here. Kim's right. Don't forget to click like, everybody. So go and give that like button a bit of a smash. And make sure you're logged in. Well, you guys are all logged in. If you're logged in into YouTube, you can comment, you can like, you can click the notification bell so that you don't miss out when I decide at the last minute to go live. So stick your head in a washing machine during a spin cycle. I don't recommend that. Nerdy Stitcher had an MRI on her knee and started to fall asleep. Yeah, it was a bit like that. I was a bit stressed out at the start, very, very stressed out when I'm trying to make sure that my leg is exactly the right position that it was needed in, and then they had to touch it to put the thing on it. That was not good. If your knee is inflamed, ice would help. Yeah. It's not so much, yeah, I have a problem with too much ice, so I just have to heat it up. Keep the muscles moving, because that's one of the other problems, is the muscles are not happy either. Hope it's all good news with the knee. Tuesday was great and I finished a Vinny. Oh, that's brilliant. Tuesday was fun. It's always good to see the behind the scenes. If your knee's inflamed, ice would help. Yes. Okay, so I have coffee. My coffee machine wasn't broken. I was at the start, like I know I started the stream just a couple of minutes late. And I'm sitting here knitting some stitches, la 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 la, getting all ready, trying to think of what I want to talk about because I'm so prepared. So prepared. It's all off the cuff, kids. Hey, Brian, I may have posted something to you. So, yeah, my internet's not great, guys. So, if it gets a bit, yeah, how's it going? I can't really do a lot about it. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Marie. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. Hang on, I'm just going to have some drink. Now, I had plans for this week with Tim and Abby away. I had so many plans. My plans did not involve my knee not working and me not being able to lift things. So, or move things, or, you know, move myself. That's fun too. I was planning on completely redoing Abby's bedroom, like gutting it and moving all the furniture around and ripping out some furniture and putting in some new furniture. Her bedroom is still basically set up for a little kid. And she's going to be a teenager soon, and she can't have a little kid bedroom when she's a teenager. So I'm like, got these like big strips of glow strip things that change colours with a little remote. I'm going to get her new curtains because she's still got the really pretty ones that I got her when she was a baby. What else was I going to do? Oh, desk for homework because, you know, she doesn't have one. But yeah, so anyway, it is not happening. So basically all I'm doing is just sorting out stuff to make it so she can help me with it next week. So I'm buying all the things and getting that all here so that she can't go, let's go shopping and buy all the things that she wants, like that are going to be, because she wants like things that are like $11 million and I'm not doing that. So yeah, so that's, you know, it's one of those things. So today we have prizes. Do you guys want to see the prizes? Andrea, a trip to IKEA. Yeah, there's totally a trip to IKEA planned. Totally a trip to IKEA planned. I've got it, but I don't know how I'm going to do it because I don't have my car. Tim and Abby got my car so they can fit skis in. I've got Tim's little Golf, and I just don't know. I'll have to do some measuring and find out if a little desk would fit in his car. I got a desk for Lachlan, but then the teacher said he shouldn't be using his laptop in his room where we can't see what he's doing. Do you know what, Kim? Look, in theory, I agree with this, but Abby isn't allowed to shut her door, and I can, and I have retained the right to look at anything as I walk past. So we make it so that her back is to the doorway so that I can walk past and see what's on her laptop at any time, because at the moment she sits on a bed, so the back of the laptop's facing you, so she can shut things down before I get there. But she doesn't, and that's the same with all of her iPad and her phone and things like that. Is I make sure that I know all the passwords, and that at any time I'm allowed to look in at what she's doing, look at everything, and so that makes her not do things that she's not supposed to be doing, because she knows I'm going to do things like delete apps. If I think she's downloaded an app that I don't like Musical.ly, then, you know, yeah. Your Abby's desk and computer are next to the kitchen. I've got no room next to the kitchen here. Abby see, that's the other thing. Abby doesn't like to use her laptop for everything. She prefers to use this desktop computer, which is in this sort of, I don't know how to describe this room. This room is basically a really big hallway. It's the size of a bedroom that they've cut another doorway in to go through to another room, which is my bedroom, that they made from, I think it looks like a garage. So it's like, I think this was the original main bedroom, and then they made a new main bedroom and made this like a sitting room sort of thing. I've got a massive desk in here, a big bookshelf, second desk with the printer on it. It's a big room. But yeah, so she sits here more often than not, and I can see what she's doing, so I've got no issues with that. So yeah, a sitting room. Yeah, I don't know how best to describe it. The people who were here before us just had a couple of little chairs and a second TV, like a little second like living room. Sorry, I just breathed in. Okay, you guys, so you need to make sure you've hit the like button, and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how many is actually in chat. There's heaps of names and heaps of people talking, but according to my thing, it's only got like a couple, and I know there's more than a couple of you there. Anyway, today's prizes, my lovelies. We have a skein of graphite in the Andromeda 8-ply. I think the light's too bright for you to read that. It is the Merino 8-ply, approximately 195 meters per 100 of grams. 100 of grams. There we go. So there's one skein of this deliciousness. And then also, for any of you interested, there is a, you can't see, it's a fiber sample box. I've got a light set up over the my work, and it's like blowing out everything else, so I'll make it all fall out. So we have delicious things in here like yak and yak and merino and cashmere and silk and cashmere and merino and yak camel tussar silk, and there's 10 different samples of fluff in here for you to do what you will with, whether or not you're a felter or a spinner or somebody wants to learn to spin. So yeah, so we've got the graphite yarn and the fiber sample box, so we'll give those away soon. So I have been just trying to muddle along. Like VidCon was great, like you guys know, but ever since, it's like I got home, Abby had one more week of school, and then they went off on their trip. It's a different colour. Hang on. Yeah, it's just been weird because I haven't been having to get up early to do school runs. I haven't been having to go to bed early or be quiet because people are sleeping. I can just be around. And yeah. Linda, I haven't actually put any up for sale yet. if you like, send me an email and I think I've got one more sitting there. So I will PayPal invoice you directly. So send me an email and remind me. And there's one that, but you may win this one. So you might want to wait before you send the email. So yeah, you like the orange and the yellow in the background. Of course you do. No, it's not Ruby, is it? No, because you just do that to confuse me. Hang on. I'm sorry. Grace. Sorry, Grace. I'm here, just lost sound, back now. Nice sock. Oh, it's actually not a sock. It is this really cool, I'll see if there's a picture in the pattern. It's not a free pattern, so I can't show you the actual pattern. Totally worth every cent though. Now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. So these are called river mitts, and it's like a sleeve inside of a sleeve that you don't actually gusset your thumbs. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. So I suppose I should work on it if I'm sitting here, shouldn't I? So sample box is a great prize. Where am I up to here? Purling. I've moved all the cameras and everything around because I never put everything in the same place twice, because that would be clever. So let me know if you can't see it properly or if you want me to move it or anything. So yeah, it is fun. So you remember when I was talking about how I was working on something in the Menengroth yarn? So that's this greeny one is the Menengroth. So it's all tones of greens and blues and yellows. Someone's written here, sample box of what? It's a sample box of fibres, Nerdy Stitcher. So in here is all little packs of all the little different fibres that I sell on my website. Hey Tara, welcome! What size 9 is that? Let me have a look, I'll tell you. I think it's a 3, but I don't know. It is a 3. It is a 3. There you go. I think it's making a really, because like for gloves, I want them to fit and be firm. Yeah, for spinning, Nerdy Stitcher, I want them to fit and be firm, but I also want them to be squishy. So, you know, sometimes you just want to go that little bit bigger and go that way. Yeah. So what is everybody else working on at the moment? Are you all crafting while you're sitting here listening to me drivel on about God knows what? Or are you cooking, or what are you up to right now? Because you're all on different time zones, I've noticed. What's my favourite spindle? Oh my gosh, that is a seriously tough question. Look, I'm only spin on supported spindles or Turkish spindles. When I go Turkish, I go Scott Snyder every single time. And when I go supported, oh, it is tough. I love so many different. For Australian, I always go with Lair of the Bearded Dragon because his spindles are gorgeous. And then I also like, I got heaps and I love them all. It's hard. Like I've got Jensen spindles and but I think the style that I mostly like is like the Russian supported, like the sort of longish. I've got one out in the lounge room, like a longish one with just a bulb on the end. I like that one. You have Snyder's. Oh, Joss is doing goods receipting, invoice receipting, and purchase order recs. Fun, so fun. You have 3 Snyders and a Shacked. I love Snyders. I think Snyders are great. I've also got one of Snyder's Dealgans, one of his first ones before he made the change, with the lip on the bottom, and I'm kind of kicking myself because I think the lip would be helpful. My 4-year-old is laying in my bed and up my backside. That sounds comfortable, Nerdy Stitcher. Unfortunately, I believe most of us with children have been there, because kids do not understand personal space at all. They just think you are part of the pillow system. Marie Bell worked out how to use the chat on her own, join chat on her own, so phone is safe. Yay! Welcome, Marie. Well, welcome back, Marie. I've got your prize here still, just so you know, because we need to work out when to, for me to give that to you. Unka is cooking for her family. Game Widows loves her teeny tiny Snyder. I think I've got one of these really. Just drop my yarn. Like, let's just have no tension while we're knitting. She's tantruming, so I'm keeping her calm. Yeah, that happens sometimes. It's not the greatest. But yeah, I really like Snyder spindles. I just think they're really well made. Hang on, I've just got to remember what I've got to do next, because I've got to knit that stitch before I take it off. That's always important. So we're turning. We're going back is what we're doing. Okay. My kids are adults and still don't get personal space. Oh, thanks. I've got that to look forward to. Bunch of other sizes. Yeah. Those geishas are super cute. What geishas? I've missed something, haven't I? I always miss something. So yeah. So I've been having a weird and wacky week. Some of my orders went out a bit late, so I feel really bad about that. So I paid a fortune in express shipping this week just to try and get people's orders out. Because I know the reality is sometimes things have to go out a day or two late, but it just doesn't sit right. I was going to come to Crafters tonight so I can grab Marie's prize and give it to her in 3 weeks, or maybe you could just post it. I'm not sure. We'll find out what Marie wants to do, but I'm happy to do either. I can't wait for my youngest to start kinder. I don't blame you. Oh, Kim's got some of your geisha stitch markers. Okay, I understand now. I was completely lost for a second there. I was just like, what? I knew she'd bought some markers, but I hadn't checked out which ones yet. So, now the plan for next week is I do have to double check that Abby... Well, actually, I should be fine to set the setup because Tim and Abby are going to clear the lounge room for me when they get home so that I can set it up. Because all my, lights and everything are so light, I could totally move them. But there's a stupid mattress in the way that my mum was actually laughing about because she said that she used to have a mattress on the floor in the lounge room when we were kids. Not intentionally, same deal. Someone gets a new mattress and the old mattress has to go somewhere temporarily. She goes, just watch out, that temporarily can turn into months really easily. And I'm like, no, I can't deal with that. No worries, I'll be in Brisbane 12th of October and I can get a sock kit at the same time. You totally can. They're just about ready. I've still got to dye that grey yarn though. I've got all the rainbow done. Just still got to get the grey. Is anyone else getting buffering? I'm supposed to have good speeds, but my vids keep pausing. Let me just check what I've got. I've got a decent stream here. I'm sorry. It's probably Kim, it's school holidays. If you've got all your kids home, if any of them are on the internet, you might be struggling a little, especially with the live stream. Also, because so many kids are home, what have I done here? I actually forgot to knit that, purl that stitch. I don't know what I've done there. That's all right. Because there's so many kids home and so many people home on holidays, internet is just not great everywhere because there's people Netflixing or surfing the web from home. My video is pausing, but everyone is home and they are... Am I at the craft show? No, I'm not going to the craft show. Yeah, I just think generally the internet in the area is not great. I did a speed test on my stream before I started, because I always do, just to double check how it's looking. Oh, I nearly lost my heat pack again. So I and it's not the best it usually is, but it wasn't terrible. I mean, my download speeds were probably the worst. My upload speeds average-ish. You're still having some problems? I'm sorry, Kim. I can't do anything. No one told me that I'd taken my hands out of the camera. It's like none of you even care. Next week in Melbourne will be crappy interwebs, and I all seem to have problems with my typing too. Can't blame the kids for that. No, that's because you had wine for breakfast, Andrea. So I've got, what are we at for time? We're at 10:30. Or 10:30 my time here in Brisbane, 10:30 in the morning. So Andrea, if you and Kim are, sorry, if you and Grace are on at the same time, that could be an issue. Just saying. So yeah, it sometimes happens. Like me and Abby have these discussions over who can be on the internet and who has to get off. So yeah, so next week I will be recording the last of the sock videos to get our little toes decreasing down and then grafting. Get that all done. I'm also going to add in a little bit at the end on just double checking your ends and tying in and things like that. Don't tell everyone knows your secret, Andrea. It's not that much of a secret. So yeah, so we've got that coming up. I've got an unboxing of a Margicraft skeiner. I've got 2 dye videos. I got about the next 2 months worth of videos planned out, so that's exciting. Also, I've got to finish off dyeing for the sock kits, and then once that's done and out of the way, I'm going to finish off or start and see how it goes. The Christmas advent calendar thingies. I'll have a play with that and decide sort of what I'm going to do. Like, I know what I would like it to look like, but trying to get 25 colours that'll work well together is difficult. Yeah, so I've got so much stuff coming up. I keep looking out the window because my new camera should arrive today, so I'm very, very, very excited. I've got my Canon 70D, this one here, and this is what I use to photograph all my shots, all my website stuff. This is what I use to record all my YouTube videos, and it's a really good camera and I'm really happy with it, but I need a second camera. No, you haven't missed any talking about the birthday yarn. I'm sorry. Oh, hang on a second. I just missed a call. I just want to just check who it is. Sorry. I don't know that number. Whoever you are, I'm very sorry. So yeah, so I really like my Canon 70D. I've got a 24mm pancake lens on there. That gives us a really nice depth of field in the videos. And in photos, it gives you a nice, you know how at the front it's nice and sharp, then at the back it's like blurry. That looks really good. So yeah, so there's that. And then I have bought an M6, Canon M6 mirrorless, which this is about sort of 500-600 grams. The M6 mirrorless is 390. So it's a bit smaller, it's a bit lighter. And I'm actually going to set it up like this over the top of my YouTube videos so it can record my hands down stuff. And I've also got it set up with like its own microphone and all its own bits and pieces, so that if I want to go around and take any footage at events and things like that, I can. So I don't have to, you know, lug the big guy around. And that was the other thing at VidCon. I really would have liked to have taken heaps more photos and recorded more stuff, but I didn't want to take the big DSLR because it's heavy, really, is what it boiled down to. It's heavy because once you add in all its batteries, a battery pack, its bag, it's, you know, like everything else I was taking, there was just no room. So I just have decided and bit the bullet and bought another little camera, so that'll be fun. I just drank tea. I better get going with my second sock. Yes, you better. No birthday yarn yet, I'm sorry. It's still in the box. It's all ready to dye. It's all skeined up and ready to go in the pot, but I've just got to do it, and I can't stand long enough to do it yet. You should get a lapel mic. Look, I like lapel mics, and I think they're cool. And I was pretty tempted. I nearly picked up a Rode lav mic, but I decided against it just for now. I'll see how it goes because I don't sit close enough to my equipment to use a wired lav mic. I'd need a wireless lav. And they cost a bit more, and I don't really need it just yet. I've got other microphone systems at the moment. It could be something that work up to for the next bit of shopping. So I tend to sort of, I have things that I need to upgrade and change around, and so I sort of save money for those, and then I've got like this huge list of things that I want to upgrade or get as well, and then I'll go and do that as time progresses. So I think I had an old Nikon P600 when I very first started. It was just a little bridging camera, point and shoot thing that I was using. Oh gosh, sorry. I was using it to just take photos on my website, and then I started to make the videos. It wasn't great for the videos, but it sort of did the job. And then the videos have been pretty well received, so I decided to upgrade that camera. And so, when I first started doing it, I had the camera, so I just bought some sound gear, and then I bought this camera, and then I bought my lighting set, like my lighting setup, and then I bought my backdrop setup, and now I'm getting the second camera. So this is all over sort of 2 years, and you sort of spread it out so that you can afford to do it. I have an ancient Nikon DSLR and a 50mm lens that cost me 500 Canadian back when I had a job and money. Hey, like seriously, nifty 50s do so much. I've got a 50mm, is it a 50mm 1.8 for this guy? And that's the other thing with the mirrorless camera, it's got an adapter so that I can actually use the EF lenses off these on the mirrorless camera. So that's pretty cool. I always have sore elbow joints after a photo shoot. They're quite heavy after a couple of hours of shooting. They really are, Joss, and it does add up. I mean, I tend to mostly shoot on a tripod, but then you got to carry that as well. So it's fun, and like I want to be able to do like sort of, I hate saying this, but a couple of sort of like vlogging videos and things like that. So I need to be able to hold it out with like, where's my hand? Out with one hand, and that arm not want to fall off after 5 minutes. So I need a light rig. Technology is a money pit. It totally is. But the thing with cameras is, as long as you look after them and you look after the lenses and you get, you know, lens hoods and, you know, the occasional filter and things like that, then, you know, it's helpful. They're a really useful tool, and they do last a really long time. Unless you're like Casey Neistat, who destroys your camera every couple of weeks. Oh, it's not that bad, but it seems like it. What have we got here? There is always a new upgrade to buy. I feel that way about like phones and computers, but not so much cameras. I suppose you can't, like, there's a new Canon out every year or something. So I suppose you could continuously upgrade, but I kind of get to a point where I'm comfortable with what I've got. Technology is going to take over the world and start complaining about the height and width of their humans. It totally is, Grace. It totally is. Yeah, like that's the thing. Your glass is 9 years old, so as long as you're careful with it, it'll last, and don't scratch it. And, you know, remember to put your lens caps back on. I'm terrible at remembering to put my lens caps on. I just forget. Okay, so first prize to go out. Are we ready? My question for you is, how do you photograph your yarn or yarn projects? Do you like to use your camera? Do you use a phone? Do you edit the photos, or do you just click it and post it? Let me know in the comments for your chance to win the fiber sample pack that you can't see because it's all blown out by this light. So I'm just holding a box of White Void. White Void! So you guys can chatter about that while I have a drink. Also, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And also, click on there's a little bell icon. If you click on that, you'll always know when I'm going live or when I put something new out on YouTube. I am tantalizingly close to my 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which is exciting. No real reason to get it now that I've already got my YouTube live and everything, but it's a milestone. It's one of those milestones. So I love milestones. I'm like, get to the next one and get to the next one. So yeah. My phone's camera sucks. Phone equals camera. My lens cap is a string attached to the phone. Oh, it's on a string. Sorry, it took me a second there to read that. Phone camera, Insta filters with my camera for my scrapbook, but with my iPad when I'm posting on Facebook. My ancient Samsung S3 had a better camera. Yeah, they do have. Samsungs have really good cameras in their phones. I just click with my phone. I'm hopeless at taking photos. No filters. Yeah, I know, it's so close. It's just not quite there yet. Use my phone, edit them as best I can. But they could be so much better. So while I, keep thinking about this, have you guys used websites like, what's it called? PicMonkey and iPic and things like that? They're online photo editing things, so you can upload your photo, crop it, do lots of different things to it, and then download it. Most of those are free. I use an open camera app on my phone and photo editor on either device. Oh, the question, Joss, was how do you take your photos of your yarn? Do you like to use a camera or your phone? And do you like to edit them as well? Or do you just post them as is on, your various socials or Ravel, wherever? I haven't lost my lens caps. Because I'm a creature of habit. I do always put them back down in the same place. So it is. I think I'm going to be giving away the prize in 2 minutes. So at 10:40 I'll give away the prize. So you guys have still got another couple of minutes to pop in your how you do it. Oh, my fingers are just not working. I think it's my leg is in a little bit of pain, so my fingers are not working. How is that? Logic for you, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing works when your legs hurts. So I'm off to the doctor's this afternoon, hopefully, to find out what is the go. She never uses filters. I'm not a huge fan of filters, actually. I'm quite happy to Lightroom edit my photos and, tweak it up that way. But for some reason, I don't tend to use the Instagram filters. So, yeah. So, Abby can't join the chat today because she's skiing. So, they've been having a really good time. Had to explain to my dear husband that if you don't want her to be a grumpy toe rag, that you have to feed her more than tinned spaghetti after a whole day on the ski slopes. So last night they went out for burgers and pool, and he sent me this awesome photo of Abby kicking his butt playing pool, and the look on her face is just like, I've got this. I've totally got this. I'm totally going to win. So that was cool. Grace is being nice because there's an audience. Oh, I totally understand that. Don't worry. I have my own version of Grace floating around. I use natural light whenever possible. I took a photography class once many eons ago, and my mum was a professional photographer. I used to go with her on shoots. I caught the bug early. See, I was never really into photography, but since I had to start learning for my website, like 3.5 years ago, I kind of fell down a photography shaped hole and fell in, and now I love like astrophotography and all that sort of stuff. So all sorts of things. Is that a bamboo circular? There is a bamboo circular here because there's a split that you have to do the second part. I just put in a long circular. I don't even think it's a 3mm. I think it's just something I had handy. Yeah, it's a 2.75. So just to keep those stitches, because after I finish knitting this, then I have to come and knit those. Alright, so the winner chicken dinner of this fibre is Andrea Hall. I don't know if you fibre, do you, Andrea? But you will now. So Andrea, I'm putting your name on a sticky note. You guys can pat the fluff if nothing else. It feels amazing. Andrea Hall. Vanessa writes, I use my old Nikon D300 for RAV stash photos and my phone for the rest. Not a whole lot of editing because I'm lazy. Do you know what? Sometimes you just don't need to edit them. Because I use the Adobe Cloud Suite for video editing and things like that. I'm really lucky. They actually have a whole pile of phone sort of software as well. So I have got like a how do I describe it? A mini versions of a mini version of like Lightroom and Photoshop, and what else have I got in here? Video clips. Hang on, I'll just go and tell you what I've got. So I've got Lightroom, Adobe Clip, Photoshop Express, Photoshop Repair, and I just downloaded something else the other day, Illustrator. But yeah, so it's one of those things that you just, it's helpful. But I really like using it. And I've been doing some classes on using Lightroom for better photo editing and stuff like that. Crafty have got a few. There's a few from actual photographers who do them online now, because that's where the world is going. Sorry guys, the sun has gone behind a cloud, so everything's just gotten that smidge bit grey here, and I'm not prepared to run off and grab a second light to make it less grey, so I just had to deal with the doom and gloom. Hi Marcella Castillo, welcome to the chat. Make sure you have hit that like button while you're here, so that I know that you like these things. Oh, you guys didn't tell me I'd pulled the knitting out of the camera again. Andrew, you totally have to come tonight to pick up this yarn, this fluff. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, there is a Stitch and Bitch group, Caffeinated Crafters, that are meeting up at Browns Plains Coffee Club, the one near the JB Hi-Fi, not the one in the shopping centre. And we meet there the first and third Thursdays of every month and have a fantastic time. And I haven't been for, like, it feels like forever, because I had to go away and the timing was just stupid. And so it's my first one for September. Is that right? First one for September. Stupid. 21st of September, and it's my first one. And wasn't there 5 weeks in August? So we didn't do one in the last week of August. Anyway, it feels like forever. So what's astrophotography? That is when you do the photograph like the Milky Way and things like that. Hang on, I'll pop some links into Fiberific Fun Zone over on Facebook. There is an amazing guy that I saw at VidCon. His Instagram name is Matt Joes, MatJoez, and he is like who I want to be when I grow up in astrophotography and sort of hyperlapse and time-lapse photography. Grace is too sick for TKD. Yeah, she totally has to stay home with her dad. So I received a back scratch from my husband and daughter at the same time. Oh, that was great. She has testing. Yes, well, they have to go if they're grading and testing. But yeah, so I think it's MatJoez. And well, I didn't meet him at VidCon. I saw him on a panel, and he was really funny. So I went and hunted down his Instagram feed, because I'm a stalker, and I was just like, oh my god, it was just phenomenal. Yeah, that's right. You do have to make sure it's a moonless night, otherwise it's too bright and you can't see the stars. It's also good to get out of town a bit, because otherwise you get a bit of light pollution. So it's a good excuse to go and sit somewhere really quietly and just ponder the universe, and set your stuff up. I mean, I used a trigger trap instead of an intervalometer, and I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy an intervalometer. I think it's just going to make life a bit easier, because the trigger trap's no longer supported. Photographing the Cosbox. Have you ever made a shoebox camera? No, I have not, although I have seen them. So yeah, I don't know, I just really enjoy photography. Like I actually, and I even quite like taking photos of the moon. I've got a couple of those up on my Facebook feed that I've done over the years. Not sure you can still buy film for them. I mean, I know you can totally still buy film. So, you know, it might be a bit harder to find it, but you can totally get it, and you can still totally get it developed at like Big W and stuff like that. So, yeah, it just takes longer now because they tend to ship it off to get it all developed rather than do it in store like they used to. But yeah, no, I don't know what it is about photographing things. I like photographing my pets, as any of you who follow me on Instagram know. I love taking funny photos when they're being silly, cheeky muffins, because that's pretty well them all the time, especially Snowy. She is just... Did you guys see that photo I put up, what night was it? Last night or the night before? Where she's like full on dead cockroaching on my bed. I'm like, get off. And she just wiggled, like, it was really funny. So I took a photo of her. So she cracks me up, that crazy dog. Georgie doesn't crack me up. He's been annoying me. He has just been really disobedient. So that's why you want to come to New Zealand with you. Well, I just like New Zealand and I have friends over there. So, but yeah, no, oh, sorry, I'm just stretching my leg. I'm such a baby. I'm like, oh, don't stretch it when it hurts, you dum-dum. Yeah, so, but it gets stiff and my foot gets sore, so I have to stretch my foot. Anyway, sorry, guys. I know you don't come here to listen to my moans and groans about my sore bits. I've got so many sore bits right now. Disobedient sounds like my kids. I used a kitchen tool and paper to record the video, to record the eclipse. It was really pretty. The photography vid was interesting. Oh, thanks, Elaine. I really enjoyed doing it. It was a bit different. It was a bit impromptu, and I wasn't really prepared. It's like, hello. How long did it take me to remember the word aperture? I'm so embarrassed by that. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even remember the words. I know what I was doing. I just couldn't make the words work. Oh, you nearly won an iPad for one of your photos. That's brilliant. One of my photos ended up in, do any of you guys remember Burke's Backyard, the magazine? One of my photos ended up in there. Oh, we found a place to catch the Northern Lights, and now we're watching the levels daily. Ooh, that sounds fun. I'll have to follow. I don't think I'm following you on Instagram, Uncle. I think I'm going to have to find you so that I can look at the pretty things too. There were hundreds of entries. I think I was like 5th or something and got an honourable mention. That's brilliant. That's so cool. I have not entered any competitions. I actually haven't entered any competitions for anything. I don't enter fairs for my spinning or my knitting. I've been judges. I've been a judge at a few things, but I've actually never entered anything myself. I don't want to be judged. I don't want to be judged. And then I put myself on the internet. So let's, see how that goes. Oh, you guys have protected me so hard. Because on all my videos, and even the people that don't like something or let me know that something wasn't as good as it could have been, they're so polite, and so mostly, there's been 2 lately that I'm a bit like, but mostly like really polite and kind and encouraging. And then I commented on, a friend of mine has a YouTube video in the US, and he'd made some video about the iPhone. So I just wrote this comment, and it was really calm and thought out, and oh my God, I upset people with my opinion on the new iPhone. And I'm getting these messages like regularly that I'm just like, and I was like, I messaged this mate and I'm like, hey, what's with this? He goes, I don't know. And he's like, but yours is like the top post. That's so everyone can see it and everyone can just like, it's the first thing they see. So they're all like adding their comment there. He goes, if you read through them all, you realize not all of them are actually aimed at you. They're aimed at each other. But because they're commenting in my thread, I get the email every time. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is like 80 of them. I'm like, oh, don't do that again. Trolls are totally a real thing. Yes, they are. Actually, one of the, I'm yelling, sorry. One of the, panels at VidCon was actually called Don't Feed the Trolls, which I thought was really cool. Tammy has won $200 through McDonald's with a summer photo. That's fantastic, Tammy. I did win a thing, but all I had to do was write 25 words or less, but I won a year's supply of Tim Tams one time. Although their idea of a year's supply and my idea of a year's supply are not the same. You can put your photos in 500 XP. It's a photographer's heaven, and you can see others and vote, and the pics show how they were done. Oh, I'll write that down. Is it X? Yeah, XP. 500 XP. I'll have to look at that up. Apple addicts are a strange bunch. Yeah, I don't think they appreciated me calling them eye sheep. Trolls have nothing better to do with their time. Well, I think they do. I think that's the problem, though. It's like anything. When you love something passionately, and some people really love their Apple products, if you love something so passionately, it's like it's your duty to defend it. So yeah, it's hey Luke, how you going? Luke, girls in the chat, Luke I met at VidCon. He's very nice, so don't be mean. Tim, yeah, the year supply of Tim Tams, it was good, and I got sick of Tim Tams. Like, every time we had to take something to someone's house, I'm like, and a packet of Tim Tams, and a packet of Tim Tams. I'd love a year's supply of Tim Tams. So, yeah, well, they are eye sheep, aren't they? So, yeah, anyway, because, like, my issue with the new iPhone, we're just going to go completely off topic here, ladies and gentlemen, but my issue with the new iPhone, aside from the fact it's an iPhone, so I'm not going to go down that hole, but in this day and age, with this level of technology and how much we have to pay for it, this phone is going to retail in Australia for like $1,500, and it's got this big notch out of the top of it. And it means that, like, when you turn your phone sideways, like when you've got your phone this way, and you can't scroll because it's the notch that is covering actually moves and covers I think it's the 10, Kim, and moves and covers the where you scroll, so you just can't see. Careful, some photographers can be elitists, even mean. Oh, absolutely. I read a lot of stuff and don't tend to comment a lot because I'm realizing that some things are very much like the iPhone Android debate, Nikon versus Canon, Canon versus Sony, and things like that. That's harsh. Then there's the whole whether or not to use a lens filter, like a clear filter to protect versus not. So yeah, it's there's so many things, and then there's the whole mirrorless versus DSLR, and it's just, we all love what we love, and I think that comes down to knitting versus crochet as well. I've seen some stuff where I was in a knitting group, and someone actually posted some beautiful crochet that they'd done. Now they were from another country, and what the people in the group didn't realize is that in some countries there's no different word for knitting and crochet. It's the same word. I think it's France and Germany, I think, and probably some other European countries as well. I just don't know. But there's not two separate words for it. So they didn't realize they were breaking the rules of the group by posting crochet. So yeah, we all are passionate about what we love. Like, I'm not a huge fan of acrylic, but I won't set fire to it. Although, in saying that, I've got a Swift that I'm seriously considering taking some video footage of me pouring lighter fluid on it and flicking matches at it. So, that's because it's really annoying. So all it's good for is firewood. Let me have a look here in the chat. People take things way too personally. They think that if you don't like something, it means you don't like them or their judgments. Absolutely. Elaine hit the like button. Thank you, Elaine. I love it when you guys hit the like button and comment. It's fantastic. Marcella is a Nikon girl. I would love a competition for a year's supply of yarn. Oh, so would I. From another business, not mine. Like, how many skeins of yarn is a year's supply? That would be actually a really cool question to work out. Like, how many skeins of yarn is a year's supply of yarn? I don't understand why they would release the two models so close together. Why would people buy the 8 when the 10 comes out a month or two later? Apparently, according to some stuff I've been reading, because you guys know what I'm like, the Apple is actually apparently a little bit upset that their pre-orders for the 8 are not going as well as they would have liked. But it seems that a lot of Apple people are holding out for the 10. So I'm not quite sure either. Personally, I don't think it's a very smart move. People are just going to go for the best phone. So it was dumb releasing 3 at once. Okay, so Germany and French also have different words. She was definitely from another country. Crochet literally means hook. Yes, German is stricken for sure. You know what bugs me? When people put up a knit pattern and say, I love this, but I can't knit, so I need a crochet pattern the same. Knit and crochet are not the same. If you don't knit, then learn. And then 1 skein a week. Nerdy Stitcher thinks 1 skein a week will be enough. Like, so what, 52 skeins of yarn? That's a lot of yarn. That's a lot of yarn. Let me just do some mathing here with my calculator because, you know, brains. Calculator. So that's a lot of yarn. That would have to be some seriously big promotion, because I think that came out to be about $1,300. Oh, and thank you, Andrea. I get all my t-shirts from tfury.com. Oh, sorry, I'm moving my heat pack around again. So yeah, they have some great t-shirts. Kim's saying I'd be flat out using 1 a month. It's because you normally knit lace, Kim. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, would it be 1 a week or 2 a month, or, you know, what would we do? But I mean, it's not a bad idea. I just don't know if I can afford to run a competition like that. That's a lot of yarn. I only sell 100 gram skeins, Tara. So, because I hate knots. Dude, I got NCC 1701 engraved on my phone. You got it engraved into your phone. I want a case that's got it on there. I don't know about it. I don't like to, I'm one of the, oh God, I don't like putting stickers on things, and I don't like permanently marking things. In saying that, I've started putting stickers on the back of my Surface Pro. So I'm like, I need more stickers for the back of my Surface Pro. I don't know why. I don't know why. I need some good quality stickers, guys. That just have to be fun. They don't have to be yarn related. So let me see. Except that I was recuperating, churning through your stash that month. Oh, that's true. So a month, so 2 a month. So not to be greedy. The Moto Cross Pure had the option to engrave. Oh, okay. I did not know that. What have we got? So we've still got this beautiful skein of yarn to give away. Lovelies. So we'll give that away in about 10 minutes. The Graphite 8 ply. This is the yarn that I made my Molly hat out of. And that I also made, that was my plain knitting for when I went to Melbourne. I don't know what it's called. Oh my gosh, hang on. It was a Stephen West freebie cowl. And it wasn't quite enough. I could have used maybe another 10 or 15 grams. Apparently the French word for knitting is tricot. But see, tricot is also a form of crochet. So that's, you know. Although I guess if I was making a blanket, I'd be using 800 grams. That is a very pretty blue. Which blue? Is this one of the blues behind me? Because this was not blue. This is grey. That's a grey. Oh, it's got some tones of blues in it for sure. Like, that's why I called it graphite rather than anything grey specific. There's definitely some blue in there. Let's see if it's under this camera. No, the light's too shiny and bright. It's ruining it. Anyway, I am very excited. Marcella Miss Bendigo. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, okay, Tara. So that was actually one of the things I was saying in that video on Tuesday, was when you're editing your photos on your computer, you need to have a look at the quality of your monitor. Not all monitors are created equally. Also, I'm filming on a webcam. Webcams aren't the greatest. So it'll be hard. So it'll be a bit, it might be a surprise. It might just be a surprise as to whether you think it's blue or grey. I definitely think it's a bluey grey. That doesn't help any, does it? So maybe it's my computer turning blue. Look, some monitors do just hue into particular realms, either like a blue or a green. Also, when they age, they tend to go a bit greeny. I've actually been looking at the ViewSonic monitors. I was going to be getting some BenQ, beautiful BenQ monitors that were RGB monitors for editing. You can calibrate as well, totally you can. The calibrating tools cost a little bit though. So yeah, so I was looking at getting these beautiful BenQ RGB monitors that do like the full thing, but they're very expensive, and I need two. That's two like next to each other so it look like one. I need two of them. So I think I'm going to go with some beautiful ViewSonic monitors that are not quite RGB but are still really, really, really color friendly. So yeah, I'm going to play with that. I got so much stuff on my shopping list, honestly. I think your camera has ruined it and now you must give it to me and choose a different price. It's wool, Kim. It's wool. It's 100% gonna make you break out in hives. You can't have it. I'll have to give away some silks coming up so Kim you go in for a prize. And it's like really, it's squishy wool. It's like scrunchy, squishy. Like it is so good. It's so nice to knit with, by the way. I'm just going to squish someone's yarn. So yeah, so it's, you know, it's one of those things. Monitors, they're not all equal. It's like everything. Phones aren't created equal. Monitors aren't created equal. Cameras aren't created equal. SD cards are not created equal. Make sure no light is coming in when you're editing. Absolutely. I prefer to edit my photos at night. Turn all the lights off and go that way. It's a thing. It's kind of sad, isn't it? It really limits your editing time. Hey, do you wind on request? No. You mean wind, don't you? I can wind on request. So, just if you order yarn online and you want it wound into balls, just let me know, and I will cake it up. I've got a Nancy's Knickknacks motorized. So sorry, my brain was somewhere else. Like, yeah. Apparently the Apple monitors are good for visual stuff. Yeah, look, you know what? Not an Apple fan. Not an Apple fan. But they really do have the market when it comes to their Macs, their desktop Macs. The monitors and the color in those is fantastic. You can't knock the truth. Honestly, I just don't like the operating systems. I can't believe the technology covered during this live cast. Sorry, Luke, we do go off on random tangents. Like, it is a crafting, you know, group, but we all, a lot of us actually work in IT and, or did work in IT and have, you know, lots of interests. There you go. Kim's jumped in. Thanks, Kim. I've got to go back and knit this way. But yeah, it's kind of amusing because we do tend to fall down the technology hole every week in the live stream, talking about all the different things that we like and don't like. Nerdy Stitcher says she's a gadget hoe. I think that's part and parcel with being a crafter, because we're used to having to have the right tools for the right job. So we're not afraid to purchase the right tools for a right job. You're learning a heap. That's great. Oops, I didn't knit through that stitch properly. So yeah, it's good. Last week it was bugs. Yes, can we not do bugs again, please? Because my skin crawled for hours. And every time I saw, like, because I don't wear my glasses around at home, so anything dark in the background, I instantly thought it was a spider because you guys were being evil with the spiders. That's right, Gamer Widows didn't start the tech convo this side. Oh yeah, Australian internet speeds. That's fantastic. Nerdy Stitcher also needs sets, so that's the other thing. We don't just want to buy one thing, we want to buy all of the things to go with it. So like, if I buy a camera, like when I bought my new camera that's on its way that I keep looking out for the postman, I didn't just buy the Canon M6, I also bought a Rode Video Micro, and I also bought a case to hold all my memory cards in, and I also bought a flash bracket so that I can mount the phone and the Video Micro next to it, because you can't mount it on the top, because if you do, you can't flip the screen up. because the hot shoe mount is too wide. What else did I buy? I bought so many things. My bank, my bank account is really unhappy. But I mean, these are all things that I was planning on buying at VidCon. If Canon had been there, I would have totally bought them, but they weren't, so I didn't. Speaking of your favourite subject, what did the VidCon attendees think of the speeds while they were here? Do you know, I think I actually mostly watched Australian YouTubers, and while it was a topic, they all were like talking about this software I hadn't heard of called Handbrake, which is a file compression software that you can use to make your file type smaller. And apparently it doesn't sort of change much in the way of the quality, which is a big issue. So most of them didn't notice it. Also, a lot of, like, they know people with places that have got NBN to the building. So it's crazy. Joss, my video is paused and I can't hear anything, or has the chat finished? The chat has not finished. Maybe refresh, Joss. Someone tell Joss to refresh. Kim says, I'm considering getting the Xiaogu mini sets or maybe the double pointed sets. I say get both. They both serve different purposes. And then with your mini set, just choose the length that you're happy with. I personally prefer the 5-inch sets, but lots of people like the 4-inch sets. So I just like to have longer needles in my hands. I've only got small hands, and I can totally pull off a 4-inch tip, but I definitely prefer the 5-inch. Oh, good guys. Thanks for letting Joss know. If I were rich, I'd have all the sets. Then you'd have everything for every occasion, wouldn't you? So those of you that saw my Instagram photo about the 8 things that I love in that photo, and the one thing I didn't, Joss, I think, was pretty close to nearly getting them all. Joss is going to get a little prize tonight when I see her. So I'm not telling her what it is. It's a surprise prize. So she was the closest at choosing all the things. I think you just missed the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. DVD Blu-rays that were in front of the television and the spinning wheel. Xiaogu are amazing. They totally are. I love the 5 inches, but I'm in love with the 9-inch circulars. I am totally in love with the 9-inch circulars, says she who is knitting currently on 9-inch circulars. I want it all, Xiaogu for president. I have the full 4 and 5-inch sets, and I've almost done a pair of socks. I think I need the smaller sizes. Yeah, if you're going to get into sock knitting, you definitely need the minis, or go with the 9-inch circulars, because the sets only started at 2.75 millimeter, and while for most of my socks a 2.75 is alright, I think for the rainbows I've gone down to a 2.5. So maybe even I mean, you'll want the whole set, Kim, because I know you, and you will totally want the whole set. But maybe you could just grab the 2.5 mil tips and a cable to try it out, see if you like it. So that's what I always recommend, you guys. If you're not sure that you're going to use something, don't buy the whole damn set. Buy the thing that you think you'll use the most and get that, because it will... I mean, like for me, I use 14,000 things because I can't just have one project on the go at a time. I think I've got something like 25 different projects that I can sort of go between. So I've got knitting projects and crochet projects and spinning projects, which I currently am not doing any of. I just realised I've got that U-Beaut super duper eel 5 electric spinning wheel that's quiet, unlike the one in my lounge room that needs repair. I could totally be spinning and not have to hurt my stupid knee. So like, you guys didn't tell me it was 11 o'clock and that I've got to give away the other prize. Like, you never tell me when I've been rambling for too long. Why is that? Hang on. I like the 2.25s. Yeah. I have the 2.5 circs, but I like the options. Me too. I bought the whole set because I like the sets. Oh, don't even start me on sewing projects. Oh my God. I've got so many things that yeah, it is. It is sad. It is totally sad. That's my dog barking at air. So Snowy, Queen of barking at air. It wasn't totally air because a car drove down the street. It didn't slow down here or stop. It just drove past. So of course she had to bark at that. Because she's the big guard dog. We just want you to stay longer. Oh, you guys are the nicest, honestly. And also the worst. You're totally the worst. I can't sit here all day and chat with you guys. I'll never get any work done. My sewing is on timeout because my craft room is not finished. My craft room is currently not safe for humans at all. I think if I walk in there, stuff will fall on me. Like, I wish I was kidding. I really wish I was kidding. It is not safe in there. You need to have someone tie a rope around your waist and pull the poltergeist trick, honestly. Just don't throw any tennis balls. But yeah, you kind of got to sneak in, get what you need and sneak back out and hope all the books and things don't just go and get you. Kim's pushing for 2 hours. Oh gosh, Kim. No one wants to listen to me blather on for 2 hours. There are not enough hours in the day. I totally agree. Okay, if you had an extra 4 hours a day, what would you do with them? And the answer, the winner, that's the question to get this beautiful 100-gram skein of squishy yarn. If you had 4 hours more a day, what would you do with the time? Would you learn something new? Would you do something different? Or would you just knit more? Would you sleep more? What would you do? What would I do if I had an extra 4 hours a day? I would probably just keep doing what I do, like just add in more time for the website and more time for YouTube and more. I'd probably run a 2-hour stream because I'd have that extra bit of time. I wouldn't use the 4 hours to do laundry. Neither would I. No. Or cleaning or mopping or no. Although what I would probably do is use more of the rest of the day to do that so I could sit down for the for time. Spend time knitting. Bug you to live chat more. Oh, Kim, you're terrible. I so need to learn to knit so I can keep saying that. I don't know. Live chat with you. No housework. None. I'd crochet, knit and cross stitch and spin and do puzzles and sew and sleep and watch YouTube and watch more. Basket weaving. Then use all the baskets to store yarn. I love that. That's great. Oh dear, visitors wanting a cup of tea. I'll have to rewatch later. Bye, Marie. Have fun. And you should tell them next time they're not welcome between the hours of 10 and 11:30. Sleeping. Basket weaving is fun. Maybe catch up on homework. You totally would not use that time for that, Grace. You and I both know you would totally not do that. More coffee dates with my crafty posse. Yes, you definitely need to learn stitching, knitting. More excuses to buy stash. It totally is. Don't worry, guys. I'm gonna get Tammy on board with the knitting. She's totally gonna be knitting soon. Don't even worry about it. So it's totally gonna happen. We just need to get together to do it. Who needs an excuse? Agreed, Tara. I went to Melbourne, right? And I don't know who follows me on Instagram and who doesn't. But I posted some photos up because while I was in Melbourne, I had to go yarn shopping. I dye yarn for a living. I spin wool for a living. And yet, when I travel, I hit the yarn stores and buy things. More time surfing Fiberific. Oh, you're just trying to win the yarn now. Watching and rewatching. Catch up with Kim more. Awesome. See, this is great. It's time for friends. It's time for craft. No time for housework. So I'm going to have a little scroll through in, say, 2 minutes. I'm going to scroll through and choose which answer I personally like the best. And they shall get the yarn that I have been fondling. What did I buy? I bought, what did I buy? I bought 6 skeins of yarn, or 1 ball, 5 skeins. And I got a a ball of, oh, my brain just completely died. It's a Zauber ball. I got a Zauber ball. And yes, I do. I've seen you on my Instagram and on my Facebook, Tara. Thank you. So I got a Zauber ball, and I got some, I don't even know how to say this. Someone's going to kill me. Shabu knits. I have to look it up. I totally have to look it up. Someone's sending me messages. Stop it. I'm on the phone. I can't. I'm on the phone. I'm on the internet. I totally can't take calls. Let me have a look here. Let me have a look. Yeah, Shibui knits. I got some Silk Cloud and some Maai, MAAI. So it's like a worsted weight chain in some black and dark blue, which is really pretty. And I also got the Silk Cloud, which is a mohair blend. It's lace weight mohair. I got it in black and dark blue and like a beautiful teal, Shabui. Yeah, yarn shopping is understandable. You need to check out what you're competing against. Absolutely. That's my excuse. Totally sticking to it. Okay. And what colors are trending? That is totally correct. I tend to keep an eye on Pantone colors. And so I can keep track of that sort of about 2 seasons ahead for Australia, because they come out for the European seasons and the US seasons. So I can keep track of that a little bit, hence the rainbows with the grey. It's amazing the chain one just did a shawl with some similar. Cool. You just... yeah, he doesn't know you're busy. Okay, so I'm just going to scroll back a little and check what you guys were doing with your extra 4 hours a day, and to see who's going to win the squishy yarn. That would be... I'm going to send that one to Nat A for wanting to learn a new skill of basket weaving, and then use all the baskets to put yarn in. So Nat, I'm going to pop your name on a sticky note. Nat A. So you need to message me through YouTube. It's not the easiest of processes, but that way I know that it's not someone else. It's not Kim trying to steal your prize, because, you know, I wouldn't put it past her. I really wouldn't. Would you? Honestly? Would you put it past her? I totally wouldn't. So I managed to get a couple of rows knitted, not as many as usual, because I've been talking with my hands. Also, my fingers are shaking because my stupid leg. So I should find out the results of my MRI this afternoon and start planning for what I'm going to do. Hopefully it's like, oh, you just hurt yourself, you dum-dum. I still have no idea how to message through YouTube. So if you go to the Fiberific page on YouTube, and there is a, you can like double click my icon and it's like send a message, things like that. Or you can send an email through that way. It's just to stop evildoers from scoring other people's prizes. I would totally come and raid your house. So, oh look, I can imagine it. I can imagine it, and it wouldn't be hard to do, honestly. Hope it's good news, fixable quickly news. Me too. Kim is sneaky, but we love her totally. Woohoo! You can work, read live chat, and get yarn at the same time. Life is awesome. Can they PM you via Ravelry? No, because I really do need it to come through YouTube, so that I've got your actual YouTube information to come through, so that it's not... I had an issue where someone did PM me through Ravelry, and it turned out that there were 2 people with very similar names, and they'd gotten confused, and I ended up needing to send the prize out twice because someone else got something. But anyway, that's why now I really want you to try. I know it's painful, but it can totally be done. I might even try and send you a message, Nat. That way you can just reply to it. And so you just look. I'm just trying to think where you look. There's a thing for messages in your YouTube account, so you can get messages that way. So gotta go. See you tonight. Excited to catch up. Hope you can drive with that. Yeah, I've in Tim's auto, so I do not need my left leg for that. Yell if I need help for lifting. Thank you. Yeah, so tonight we're off to Browns Plains for Caffeinated Crafters. We're there from about 6:30 until they kick us out at around 9-ish. It depends. Sometimes they just clean up around us and leave us there. It's quite amusing. But yeah, so we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And we've got all sorts of things coming up. Birthday yarn, rainbow sock kits, the last rainbow sock video. So much stuff, you guys. So much stuff. You have to let me know if there is a video in particular that you want done. If you've got a technique that you want to learn. Or that you just want to see a different perspective on. Oh, we've also got... who taught me continental knitting? I'll pause and answer that question. YouTube taught me continental knitting. I found it was such a dodgy, rubbish quality video. But it was Laura Lee Beltman, and she was in a yarn store, and I watched this rubbishly lit, grainy, horrible thing. I watched it 1,100 times, I swear. So many times, and I just kept practicing, and then I was knitting a jumper, and it was because it was just a stockinette jumper. I just could just keep knitting and keep trying, and it didn't matter if I went back the other way. I went back. So I learnt from YouTube. So I know you can learn things from YouTube, because everything I have learnt has pretty well been from YouTube or online video resources that I've paid for. I'm going to put my knitting down because I think it's time to stop what I'm doing. Nerdy Stitcher learned on Knitting Help. That's like a worded one. I don't know if they've got videos, do they? No, they don't have to have videos. But I know the ones you mean. I am going to be getting ready to go, you guys. We're going to finish at 11:30 today, much to Kim's, disappointment. So do I, especially photography. Yeah, look, seriously, there's so many good... That was my biggest issue with VidCon, I think. My biggest issue with VidCon were the number of people that ask questions. Now, I've got no issues with people asking questions. It was a totally safe place to do it. But there are a number of people asking questions that would have much easily been answered by Googling them. Hit Google... chat and watch videos, and I mean that's how I decide. Like, I research everything by oh sorry, I just moved my leg. Oh yeah, sorry, Anka, yes, brioche as well. We've got 2-color brioche coming up soon in the next few. I want to do something else before we start another knitting project, but yeah, I'll do some dyeing in between. We need Google Hangout. We totally do. Google Hangout is heaps of fun. So the other thing is, you guys, that we have a Discord channel. So if we all want to actually physically talk to each other, you need headphones with a little microphone, whether or not it's, I think for the most part, the headphones you get with your phone, you can do it. So I will put the details of the of our Discord chat into the comments, into the description box. So brain's starting to fall apart. No, brain is dead. So yeah, then there's a Discord chat, so we can organize a time where we can all get on Discord and have a chat there, so you can actually hear everybody talking, so it's really fun. And it's not that hard, so just everyone go and download Discord, and then I'll get you the details to join the chat. I'll put it into, actually I won't put it in here, I'll put it in the Fiberific Fun Zone. So if you are on, make sure you go to Facebook and look for group Fiberific Fun Zone, and I will let you in, and I'll put the details there because it's got like passwords and stuff. So yeah, so that's safer. So that we don't end up with random people who don't want to talk knitting and tech and bugs joining our discussions, because we obviously keep on track. We never veer off. We always talk about exactly whatever. All of us talking at the same time. Scary. Hang on a second. Brioche is cool. Thursdays are your day off? No bugs. Yeah, no bugs, guys. Oh my gosh. And definitely no spiders. And yeah. See, my skin's crawling already because we stop. Ugh. No, I can't deal with it. The other thing I really want to do is I want to make more of these bags. I love these bags. So I have to get out my sewing machine and actually sew some stuff. So that would be nice. Abby finishes school really soon. So she'll be off last week in November, I think the calendar says. Doesn't sound right, but I'll check that. Because I think her last term is only like 7 weeks, which is crazy. And so she wants to do more sewing as well. So we'll pull out both sewing machines and we can sew side by side and I can just keep her going. Abby likes making just straight bags with handles. And also she likes to, what do you call that? When you're piecing all your quilting bits together and you sort of just keep stitching it through and make like a big long flag of it. I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, she likes to do that, so I tend to set her up with the strips and stuff I want to get done so she can do those knot bags. I'm not into the knot bags so much. Issy loves that Pac-Man bag, so do I. I got the fabric from Spotlight. Or did I? Oh no, I didn't. I got it from another company whose name I cannot Make it something or other. Sorry, there's a bag of theirs hanging off a chair with some other stuff that I bought. Because I never just buy all sorts of stuff and leave it hanging off a chair since April. Yeah, that's been there a while. I put a video on my channel. I have to have a look. It's way cool. It's totally cool. Yeah, project bags are fun because we use them and like there's a lot of stuff you can sew and you can knit and you can make and what have you, but you don't use it. Like I had to make a crochet doily. You guys have seen the red doily I had to make, and it was just for my certification, and that was it. And I've no need or want for doilies, but it's a skill that I had to prove I could do. And I hate making something that I can't use. It bugs me. So I like to make projects like socks and shawls and gloves and hats and jumpers and things like that I'll actually use, rather than like I look at some things and I'm just like, nah, not doing it. But yeah, anyway, you guys, it has been amazing. I have to remember to pop in a whole pile of links over on the Fiberific Fun Zone, and I'll put a lot of them in here as well so that we can find them later. Yes, I feel that same way about cushions too. So we need Make It's website, because they have such the coolest fabric and their prices are really good. The other one to keep an eye out for is Southeast Fabrics. You tend to have to go in store. There's one here at Logan IKEA, like across the road from IKEA. And they have some really cool licensed stuff for a good price. Grace, I'm really sorry I can't go for 2 hours. My voice is already starting to go. So we're going to wrap it up. But you'll get more chances to hang out with us on the Christmas school holidays. I will catch you all next week. Hopefully Tuesday will be the last of the sock tutorials. Have a great day, and I'll catch you another day. Oh, hang on a second. Oh, there we go. There's the stop streaming button. Bye.